Welcome back everyone to Data Science for Everyone. Today we're going to be looking at group by and order by statements with SQLite. Let's get started. So first off, let's go on and open up our database. So I'm going to go on and actually, what do I want to do here? Let's go on and take a look and see what we have. So I'm going to go on and start up a new file here, and we'll call this something like, what am I going to call it? I'll call it grouping practice.sql. And I want to go on and do something like a select. And let me close that. Select here. And when we're grouping by, okay, so a couple things that we talk about when we do group by statements and order by statements, okay? There usually needs to be an aggregation function of some sort. So, now, these aggregation functions are like sum, min, max, count, okay? And we also have an aggregate function itself. Now, these totals are usually done by any column, okay? And it's going to allow us to control the scope of the aggregations as well. So let's do something like count. Let's give that a try. All, okay? And we'll call this record count from here, and we want station data. Let me run this, and we'll do that from our weather stations data set. Okay, so this particular data set has 28,000 records. Okay, so that's a great way to use the count. And let's do, and this, I really need to get better at doing that. All right, and then let's say we want to do something else, okay? So let's count all of the records where tornado is true. Okay, so there are 3,000 records that contain tornadoes. Okay, then let's also go through and maybe see something like what do we want to try here? Now let's try, we haven't actually used a group by. So now let's do group by year. Okay, so this should count and give us independent records per year. Oh, and I want to grab, also, that doesn't help us if I don't put a year in here to see it. Okay, so now we can actually see in here a fantastic thing is that we can actually go through and count each of these particular data points by their years. And what would be always very beneficial, for example, is that if you want to maybe, let's say, plot these later on, you can always send just the records over and use this as kind of the hosting service for your plots. So let's also try another one here. Let's also do it by year and month. Oh, and I need to put month here. All right, so now we have, for example, each of the year and month of each of these, which is, again, going to be very useful, for example, if you want to do these by the month. And you can see also that there are some incomplete records. And again, maybe it just so happens, again, there's not going to be, it doesn't take into account zero values in there for their counts. We also may want to do something, because, again, if you notice that these are not great about ordering things maybe the way that we want them. So let's go on and use the order by statement, and again we'll do year with a tiebreaker of month. We'll run that, and again that gives us something kind of nice in here. One thing that we actually see is that this isn't exactly the way that we want to go about it, so maybe we want to have these ascending or descending. Okay, and so for ascending order, that is just standard. It would be ASC. Okay, but if we want them to be descending, we can do DSC for descending, and that would be here. Now you see 2010 all the way down to, I forgot what we had before, but we can, let me double check that. We can just remove this, and this is ascending. Ascending is the default, but if you want to actually explicitly say it, again, is ASC. If you want to descending, is DSC. So let's go on and play around with some more aggregate functions. So first, let's say something like a select here, month, And then let's create an average for the temperature. And we'll say, I'm going to close that so we can actually see this, as average temp from station data. Station data, where year is greater than or equal to 2000, where we want to group by the month. We can run that, and we can see here that now we have the average temperature per month. Again, it's not doesn't look great because we didn't round it, so let's go on and round that. And we'll do this to 2 decimal places. All right, so now we actually have everything that's nice and rounded up. We can see here that our average temperatures actually go up and down, and it kind of moves all around. Okay, so that's kind of fun to do. We can also do something like, let's do maybe cumulative snow depth. Okay, so we want select year, the sum of snow depth, as total snow from our station data, and we want where year is greater than or equal to the year 2000, and we want to group by let's do group by year for this one. Okay, so we can see here that our cumulative snowfall will be able to have all kinds of fun values in here. We can also, there technically isn't going to ever be a limit to how many aggregate functions that we use, which is, again, fantastic, particularly if you want to create your own summary statistics. So let's go in and actually do that. And I'll delete this for now so that we can have this out. So select here, we want year, and we'll do sum of our snow depth as our total snow. Let's do the sum of precipitation as total precipitation. I spelled that wrong. Precipitation. There we go. And then we'll do something like max of our precipitation as max precipitation. And then from station data, where, and again, we'll do year is greater than or equal to 2000. And we'll group by year. Whoops. What was my error? Let me double check here. Oh, right there. Okay. So let's go on and take a look here. We see that we have now all of our aggregate variables with our total snow, our total precipitation, and then our max precipitation by year. Again, this is fantastic to be able to create any type of descriptive statistics that you want, or to be able to, again, just have some reporting that you would normally do. Now, let's achieve something also. Let's add in some more interesting stuff, okay? So let's do something like select year, sum, and we'll do precipitation as, and we'll say this is as tornado. We'll say precipitation. Okay, so from station data, where tornado is true, we want to group by year. And I bet I put, what didn't it like? Oh, whoops. I probably have an extra in here. Yep, right here. I'm missing my comma. Okay. So again, we have some null values in here, which is also to be expected. So you'd want to do the coalesce, okay, if whenever you are seeking these out, if you want to deal with them, or you can have them in any other way as well. And let's maybe, yeah, I think this will be good for now. So here we're actually saying how much precipitation came with the tornadoes. Let's also go on and use the having statement, okay? So what we use with this is, suppose we want to filter out records based on the aggregate value, okay? Now, while our first instinct may be to use the where statement, okay, with this isn't going to work, all right? We need to actually, we can't filter out aggregate fields with where, okay? We use the having key to actually do this. So if we want to, actually, you know what, let me change this one up to, let's say, total precipitation. And then, so we want to actually take this total precipitation per year, and we want to filter it out where, and then instead of where, okay, we have having total precipitation. Is it really not wanting to do that? Why aren't you on total refill for me? Where having total precipitation, let's say greater than 30. Okay, so that's going to give us our total precipitation for anything greater than 30, and it's not where, it is having, because we are doing this on the grouped by aggregate data. Okay, having, let me see, let me actually make this as a comment here, okay? Having is the aggregate equivalent to where, okay? So let's say this again. Where is for individuals, okay? Having is for aggregations. Okay, this is important, okay? I see this being an issue all the time, so please just kind of keep this in mind when you're working on it. Let's go on and do one more and dealing with some distinct records. Okay, so let's say that we want, and again, it's not uncommon, okay, to want very distinct results from a query. Again, we know where there are 28,000 records, okay, in our station data, all right, from our counts. So suppose we want distinct weather station values. Okay, so how would we go about doing that? Well, we use the distinct keyword. So select distinct, let's do station number from station data. Okay, and this gives us a nice set of distinct values. Okay, and now let's also maybe do this by from the year. Okay, so again, we can see that they have their year equivalent. And again, this is going to be very nice and useful if you want to go on and grab these types of distinct values. You can always play with this a little bit to make sure that you've done what you feel is necessary. So again, we finished up here using the group by and order by statements, as well as looking at having and distinct statements as well. If you guys like this, please comment, subscribe, and hit that like button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.